Our next question that we're going to ask. In the Housing Production Plan's Spring 2021 online open house, 50% of participants indicated that passing the Community Preservation Act was a high priority. If used as intended, the Community Preservation Act would provide dedicated funding for affordable housing. What are your plans for affordable housing, and do you believe the Community Preservation Act is a high priority? I nailed that question, guys. Ms. Madero Solano.
Thank you. Well, I feel there are other ways to address affordable housing without raising taxes that can be equally effective. For instance, we can, again, create a program to allow senior citizens or others who can't pay their property taxes and water bills, but who want to remain in their homes, the opportunity to not pay those taxes and bills in exchange for offering or for adding affordable housing deed restrictions on their properties. And such a program would create a viable way to help both senior citizens and home buyers of color to purchase affordable homes in Melrose, and would help Melrose reach its affordable housing goals without eliminating small business areas or building large condo complexes or reducing open spaces in order to do so. We could also work with the Melrose Housing Authority and the state to explore the idea of creating additional senior affordable housing building in Melrose. Our existing buildings are still experiencing very long wait lists. It could be up to 2 years just to get in Melrose and in our region. Baby boom, the baby boom generation is aging and needs housing. This is another way in which the city could add more affordable housing units to its housing stock. As mayor, I will think of finding creative ways that we can address our challenges without raising taxes being the only answer. Thank you.
Thank you. And next, Ms. Grigoritis.
Thank you. The city's housing production plan identifies passage of the CPA as a priority, and I was one of 7 councilors to support the passage of that plan as required under state law. I think the CPA is an important tool for Melrose to help achieve many goals, including access to affordable housing and enhancing our open space and preserving historic buildings. We've seen CPA work in surrounding communities, and it's a recommendation of the Massachusetts Area Planning Committee for communities to address housing shortages. As mayor, I will ensure that we are working toward these priorities and continue to build on my demonstrated commitment to housing production.
Thank you. Ms. Hammer?
Great, thank you. So I do think we should consider passing the Community Preservation Act for affordable housing funding sooner than later. But first, I think to Monica's point, we do need to make sure that people feel comfortable in reinvesting in this community. So we need to rebuild a lot of trust with folks before we ask for further investment. But I do believe we need to pass this Community Preservation Act. I also believe we need an absolutely new approach to how we do affordable housing here. We can no longer just rely on developers providing us with 15% of their actually unaffordable units. And we can't wait for housing opportunities to come up for our own corporation to be purchasing. So with a new focus on home ownership to empower residents to build equity, our new affordable housing strategy will give Melrose the opportunity to build homes where we want, in ways that people want, and at prices that people can afford. So I want to work with developers to invest again in our Affordable Housing Trust Fund, again, instead of integrating units into their high rent buildings. I want to have the fund work with the Affordable Housing Corporation to build those home ownership opportunities in locations that are near public transportation, specifically above single-story retail buildings in our community, and also offer these home ownership opportunities to be designated for public employees, including educators, or to recruit educators and public employees that we want. So I'm very passionate about looking at affordable housing very differently from how we've been doing it. We cannot continue to do business as usual if we want to expect new outcomes. Thank you.